Computer. We have been making headway, even though we've been sort of interrupted. And at this point, I can tell you that we are on, let's see, did we start? Hold on. We started in August. So we started August 13th. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is technically class 8. And there are 16 classes in a Tai Chi session. So we're halfway through. And that's pretty impressive considering that we have done our basic 6. If you've kept up on YouTube, if you've been unable to come to all the classes and you've kept up on YouTube, then you know that we have went over and broke it down, and we're at the point where we're going to be practicing our basic 6 for a couple weeks before we dive into our advanced 6. Always, every time we get started, we want to warm up our bodies. We don't want to ever exercise with cold muscles. That increases our chance of injury. So just simply walking around, closing our hands, bending our elbows, just getting that blood flowing. That's what it takes to get our muscles warmed up. I was thinking about this on Friday night. We went to the football game, and y'all, it got cold Friday night. And I didn't wear enough clothes or take enough things to the ball game to stay warm. What did I do? I said, honey, I got to go walk around because I needed to warm up my body. And so I walked around, and then I split my legs like this, and I kept going down and up, down and up. And I down and up, down and up. And so what was I doing? I was getting that blood flowing through my body to help keep myself from being so cold. So there's you a tip if you don't have on enough clothes or you didn't bring your blanket, to get up and get moving and get that body warmed up. And it made a difference. But I was glad to get in my car where that heat was blowing when that game was over. So always know that you have a little bit of inside blanket that you can take care of yourself if you do ever get cold. All right, thinking about our major joints and doing our soft stretching, starting with our neck. We're in a stable stance where our feet are shoulder width apart. I have a slight bend in my knee. So anytime in Tai Chi, we don't lock our joints. We keep an open joint, and that's that soft bend. So it might look like I'm standing upright, but I'm not up. So if you see from the side, here's that soft bend, and here's a locked joint. So it's just a little bit of bend in that joint. And that helps us be more stable, but it also allows energy to flow through our bodies. Also do that with our elbows. So anytime we have our hands out, there's that soft bend. So they're out, but not out. So we never lock our joints. We have good posture as if a string we're pulling up and down, and our shoulders are relaxed. And we're breathing. Most importantly, we continue to breathe. Check in with yourself every now and again to make sure you are continuing to breathe. It's easy to hold your breath whenever you're doing something with your body. So starting with our neck, we're going to bring our hands up, palms down, turn and pull them towards our chin and chest, push away from our bodies, and follow those hands all the way down, chin towards our chest. You should feel a little stretch in the back of your neck. Inhale as you come up, and then exhale whenever you get ready. All of our lungs are different. Remember, if you follow all the principles of our Tai Chi, even in our warm-ups, you'll get the benefits of our Tai Chi. The other neck exercise starts out that same way. When we get here, we drop one to our hip, follow that hand as we look towards that shoulder, and come back to the front and switch. So we're going side to side, stretching that neck. Let's roll our shoulders. We roll our shoulders forward, and that probably feels a little bit awkward. Now let's roll them back. That feels like a massage you give yourself. It also resets your posture. Roll the shoulders forward first, and then roll them back. Big shoulder circle, bring those hands up, and then turn and push them down. This is a good one to practice breath. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you push down. Now for our spine, grab our ball. We're going to push one hand down towards the ground and the other push up above our head, pushing up and down at the same time, stretching that spine vertically. Come back to our ball. This is where I like to inhale. Exhale as I separate, stretch that spine, come back down. Separate, push and push. Think about separating the heavens and the earth. Sounds kind of powerful, doesn't it? Back to our ball. Now let's go side to side, going in the direction of the hand that's on top. Just moving that torso side to side. Now for our lower body. So we're going to shift our weight to one leg, heel forward, hands back, pause in the middle, and toe back, hands forward. Go to that other side, shift the weight, heel forward, hands back, paws in the middle, toe back, hands forward. Takes a lot of balance to hold our weight on that one leg while we heel forward and toe back. But that's how we strengthen our muscles. That helps us with falls prevention. Now let's shift our weight side to side. Shift. And now tap that toe out. Switch our hands. Shift. And this gets us practicing for our Tai Chi as we practice weight transfer. And if you need to skip this hand movement and hold on to a chair or a stable table or a wall, that's okay. The main thing is that you're transferring weight and practicing holding weight on one leg, however you need to be supported. Remember, we're keeping our upright posture. We're not leaning with the weight shift. Now for our knees, we're going to shift the weight, lift the other foot, tap and punch. Bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch. Shift, lift, tap and punch. Bring it back. Shift, lift, tap and punch. Side to side. Now we're going to step out. Shift the weight, step, keeping both feet flat on the floor as we shift forward and shift back, feet side by side. Shift, step, shift and punch. Bring it back. Take your time shifting the weight, front, back, and to the side. This is just the perfect warm-up exercise for our hip, knees, and ankle joints, making those muscles stronger to support our bodies. Last is our ankles. No hand movements here. Let's shift the weight and heel, toe, heel, toe. Bring it back, shift, heel, toe, heel, toe. And then finally shift, big toe, little toe. Bring it back, shift, little toe, big toe. And give yourself a shake. All right, what I want you to do for just a second is practice that Tai Chi walking. I want you to walk forward by shifting weight, stepping empty, so not immediately giving weight to that foot, then shifting, stepping empty, then shifting. I want you to practice Tai Chi walking forward. And then I want you to back up, because we're not going to have all the space in the world. So I want you to practice Tai Chi walking forward. So y'all practice that right quick. I need to go see if somebody in my office has a candle burning, because it's I'm very allergic to fragrance, and it's making my head feel like it's closing in. So practice your Tai Chi walking. I'll be right back. Oh, it's fine. I just didn't know what it was coming from. I was like, hold on a second, y'all. Okay. Y'all, I have a nose that doesn't work because of COVID, and all I knew is my head was like feeling like it was like pressuring in, but I didn't know what it was from, and I thought somebody may have been burning a candle, but my coworker said somebody's burning something outside, and she had her window open, and so she closed her window. But isn't that wild how like smells can like affect us so bad? And I couldn't even smell it. All I felt was on my head. All right, so y'all practicing y'all's Sylvia. I see you practicing your Tai Chi walking.
I am. See that arm go over after coffee?
Yeah, I see that. But Tai Chi walking is a great way to practice those empty steps because that's not natural for us. We've been learning to walk since we were 1 year old, roundabout. And what have we done? We just threw that foot out there and we just kept going. And it may look a lot less graceful when we first started, but that's the way we're used to walking, just immediately giving weight to our steps. That's how we typically walk. Well, in Tai Chi walking, we're slowing that process down. And what we're doing is essentially holding weight on one leg. So I'm holding weight on this leg. I'm stepping that out. Meanwhile, I'm still holding that weight on this one leg. Now I'm going to give it to this leg. All right, now I'm going to hold weight on this leg. So still holding weight, still holding weight. Okay, now I'm not. So that empty step is really you having weight on that other leg. Now, I'm not going to tell you to stand here like this, just stand on one leg, because that's a whole different thing. But it's not all that different because you are keeping weight on one leg. You just kind of have the safety of that foot is still on the ground. So if you needed to shift weight to it, you could. If your leg's way up here like the flamingo and you had lost your balance, then you're more likely to fall. But it's holding weight on one leg, having the strength to hold your weight on one leg that is going to help you with falls prevention. And that's what we do through Tai Chi. All the way through it, we're holding weight on one leg. So that's Tai Chi walking forward. Now, I've told you I wanted you to practice Tai Chi walking to the side. Not just a while ago, but the past couple weeks, I've encouraged you to Tai Chi walk sideways so that you can find your natural spacing for you as you walk sideways, because we do this in waving hands and clouds. Now, if I were to instruct you specifics, I would say step out a little further than hip width, and when you follow step at hip width apart. That's what my instruction would be. But unless you're looking in a mirror, you really can't tell what is hip width unless you're just thinking really hard about it or touching or holding your legs. Main thing is you want what feels natural to you with walking sideways for our waving hands and clouds. So it's a step, empty, then give it weight, and then follow step. Shift, step empty, shift, step empty. There's that follow step. So it's the same thing that we were just doing. We're just walking sideways. So I still encourage you to practice Tai Chi walking forward and Tai Chi walking to the left and Tai Chi walking to the right. And that is just practice in helping our muscles get stronger and be more stabilizing so we're less likely to fall. And it helps you with Tai Chi. Because you know, when you can practice Tai Chi, you can practice the moves that I've taught you, but sometimes our brain doesn't want to remember all that stuff. But you can practice Tai Chi by just simply Tai Chi walking. And then when you come to class, then you're a little bit stronger and more able to do the moves. So let's go through them. First, we have commencement. Remember, that's a step forward with our feet. What our hands do is face each other the whole time, come up and out from our bodies, down. We pull them in towards our hips, bring them up. I always think that feels like an elevator. We push them out, and then we come back in and get ready for open and close. So putting them together, we bring our hands up. As we bring those hands down, we shift right. Step left, remember we step empty, bring those hands in and up. Now shift left as you take those hands out. Bring the right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. That's our first two moves. So my biggest tip for commencement is to really think about the connection of weight shift and what's going on with your hands. So when we weight shift initially to that right foot, that feels like a down shift. What are our hands doing? Going down. So down shift, hands go down. Step, we bring our hands in and up. Now here is our next shift. We shift forward to that left foot, and our hands go forward at the same time. So connecting hands to weight shift, bring that right foot forward. Now our hands come back. When those hands come back, I even out the weight to where there's weight on both legs, and then open, close. Okay? So commencement and open and close. And begin. Commence up, down, shift right, step left, hands come in and up, shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Now, commencement is the only move that we do that's not balanced. What do I mean by that? It means that we don't do it the totally opposite way. I mean, when we do single whip, we do it to the right first, and then we wave hands in clouds to the right. Then we do single whip to the left, and then we wave hands in clouds to the left. So we do it to the right and do it to the left. But commencement, we only do one time, and that's a shift right, step left, shift left, right foot forward. So that movement stands by itself. The other moves, we do both ways. So let's start with our single whip. We've just finished open and close. We shift left. We step out right at an angle. When we step out right, it's an empty step. Then we adjust it. So now there's weight on both feet. Now we do something with our hands. We push our hands out, turn and separate, eyes following our left hand. The rule in Tai Chi, the foot that steps out we follow the hand opposite of that foot. So there's that cross balance. Cross balance works our brains, and that's another reason why Tai Chi is so good for us, is we're moving cross laterally. So we have that single whip of shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes follow the left hand. But we didn't forget to move that right hand out, even though we're not looking at it. So now our weight's on both legs. We're going to shift our weight to our left foot. We're going to bring that right foot back, and our right hand comes to our hip. Waving hands in clouds. We step out, we switch our hands, and turn. Shift. Step, switch, turn. Here's the words that are right behind me. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Here's our sixth step. Step, switch, and turn. Now come to the middle for open and close. Now we're ready to single whip and wave hands in clouds to the left. So I shift right, step left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate. This time following my right hand, but not forgetting about my left hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn. Shift, 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 step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close.
Do that again for me. I'm uncoordinated for that.
That's okay. You talking about all of it or just that final
That final part.
Okay. So let's start with that second single whip and waving hands in clouds. So let's just start from the first single whip, because that gives us practice both ways. So we've done commencement, we've done open and close, and now we're going to the right. So we shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes follow that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn.
Did I shift on the same leg or the
Okay.
opposite?
So it's when I was talking earlier about Tai Chi walking. So that's where I was saying you step out, empty step, then shift, and then step, empty step, then shift. So you're walking to the side. Okay, so when I step right, I turn to the right. When I step left, I turn to the left.
Okay.
Shift, step right, turn right.
Okay.
Step left,
Turn.
turn left.
Okay.
Step right. So it's kind of like left or
Okay.
step left, turn left. So whichever foot you step with, that tells you which way you're getting ready to turn. I turn right, I step right, I turn towards that foot.
Okay.
I
Thank
step right, or I just said the wrong foot. Now, because I'm mirror image, I'm telling y'all a big fat lie. So when I tell you I'm stepping right,
Mm-hmm.
it's really my left foot.
I understand that part. Okay.
Okay. So sometimes I forget that I'm a big fat liar. So, anyway, either which way it goes, when you step
Yeah.
with whatever foot, you then turn in that direction.
Okay.
So the step and then the turn answers. So
Okay.
this right here is the order, pretty much step, switch our hands. Remember, step, we want to step empty so we don't immediately give it weight. Then we switch our hands. Then we turn, and then we shift our weight so that we can then step. So anytime we shift weight to a foot, it's because we're ready to do something with that other foot. So you give weight to one so you can move the other.
Okay.
All the way through Tai Chi. That's why we shift weight, is so we can do something with the other one. We're going to step it somewhere.
Okay. Think I got it.
When we think about weight shift, I like to think about like those hourglass things where you turn it over and the sand goes all the way in, to the other side. I think about putting all the sand in one leg and then moving this leg. Then put all the sand in this leg so we can move this one. And in a way that helps me slow down. I mean, we're not going to wait an hour, but it takes a minute to put all the weight there. Well, it takes an hour in an hourglass. Y'all follow me, right? Y'all follow me.
I'm following.
I'm not being literal time-wise, but I think about the sand, putting the sand into that leg. Now moving this one, putting the sand in this leg. Now this one. And that just helps me kind of slow down.
Okay.
And to me, that's kind of a relaxing thought of sand kind of going over to that other leg. But this is waving hands in clouds, and it is a difficult move. However, once you get it, I think you will realize what a relaxing move it is. There is so many of our principles that exist, okay? Slow, smooth, and continuous. That's our pace. That's our movement control. Upright posture. Weight transfer. And then there's just that circular movement of our hands. And circular is relaxing. Now, when we're first learning this move, it's very choppy. We chop up those 4 words by saying step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. So it's not so much relaxing when we first start because it's chopped up like that. But after we practice, we can make it more smooth and our movement more continuous, and that's relaxing. If you find yourself kind of worked up, maybe you're anxious about something, you can practice waving hands in clouds. Breathe as you go through these movements, and you'll find yourself calming down because of that slow, smooth, continuous, and circular movement. The movie Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. Well, doesn't that look kind of like waving hands in clouds? Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. But ours involves our torso here. So here we're cross body. Here we're by our hip, but it's like we banged a drum. Here and switch. Here. So right now I'm not even stepping. I'm just practicing that upper body movement. You can do this seated and find relaxation in that one too, from that circular movement. So practice that and have a goal of knowing it so well that you can do it slow, smooth, and continuously. The best we can do is practice. That's how we get better at it. So let's practice our basic 6 movements. I'm going to do it from the front a couple times. I'm going to turn around and do it a couple times. And we'll just keep practicing. Let me know what questions you have if you have any. All right, here we go. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Close it out. All right, I'll talk you through it this time. And commence. Hands come up. Down, shift right. Step left. Hands come in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Right foot forward. Hands come back. Open and close. Single whip. Shift left. Step right. Adjust weight. Push. Turn. Separate. Eyes following our left hand. Shift left. Bring that right foot, right hand back. Waving hands in clouds. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. 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 Step. Switch. Turn to the middle for open and close. Single whip. Shift right. Step left. Adjust weight. Push. Turn. Separate. Eyes follow that left hand. Shift left. Bring that, shift right. Bring that left foot, left hand back. Waving hands in clouds. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. 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 Step. Switch. Turn to the middle for open and close. and close it out. Any questions about those moves? All right, I'm going to turn around. I'll talk you through it. And begin. Commence up. Down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward. Hands come back, open, close. Single whip. Shift right. Wait. No, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry. I knew I was saying the wrong word. All right. Shift left. Step right. Adjust weight. Push. Turn. Separate. Eyes following that left hand. Shift left. Bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. And to the middle for open and close. Single whip. Shift left. Step. No, I'm going this way now. I guess I'm better at being a liar than telling the truth. Good gracious. Shift right. Step left. Push. Turn. Separate. Eyes follow that right hand. Shift right. Bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Last set. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Last time. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. And to the middle for open and close. Close it out. Now let me just do it and not talk. I think talking gets me in trouble. So, basic 6 turned around. Remember when it comes time to single whip and waving hands in clouds, and I'm really talking to myself, we go to the right first, and then we go to the left. So that's why I'm over here whenever we start. Here we go, and commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Close it out. All right. I'm going to do it from the front. I'll see if I can redeem myself. All right. Without talking, I'm going to walk you through all the basic 6 moves, and we'll cool down. About to say calm down. Calm down, girl. Here we go. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Open, close. Close it out. How do we feel about that? We feel good about our basic 6. Do you like forward, me facing y'all, or me facing the back? Or y'all like either one?
I don't think I have a preference for either.
Okay.
I just got to get coordinated.
That's okay. And that just takes practice. So I encourage you to really practice that waving hands in clouds. To me, it takes the most coordination because things are happening at the same time.
Right. I'm trying to think we can do it.
With open and close, man, we can all pretty much check that off as we're the boss of that move.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, open and close, we got it. With single whip, it's one thing at the time. It's like stop, shift, step, adjust. Now my hands get to do something. Push, turn, separate, shift. Here, it's almost like the feet do something, the hands do something, the feet do something. So it's kind of back and forth. But that waving hands in clouds, it takes so much coordination. So I just invite you to practice it for the sake of knowing waving hands in clouds. But really, most importantly, is for strengthening your muscles so that they are stabilizing for you and help keep you upright and keep you from falling. And then practice that walking and then break it down just like this, where you do one thing at a time. Step, then switch your hands, then turn, and then shift. So practice it one of those 4 words at the time, and then try to get it to be more smooth. And that just takes time and practice. All right, so let's cool down by giving ourselves a little fist massage, bringing those knees up for you to massage those muscles. Now let's create tension, gather tension, and then let it go. We don't want to live with tension. We want to recognize tension when we're holding it so that we can let it go. Tense and relax. Big shoulder circle. We make our right fist, that represents our strength. Our left fingers together representing our friendship. Our thumb in representing humility. We put those together in mutual respect. We say namaste. Thank y'all for coming today. We'll do it again next week. What were you going to say?
I got a doctor appointment next Tuesday.
All right. Is that you, Miss Lely?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't tell who was talking. You can either, if you'll be back at home, if the afternoon class will work for you, you know how to get in touch with Samantha?
Well, I can always pull it up and watch it.
Okay. Okay. Well, that will work too. We have options here, girl. We have
One more
options.
thing. I got one more question.
Uh-huh.
Uh, all of November, I'm supposed to be out of town. We're working in another state.
Okay.
I'll be on the other side of Dothan, Alabama.
Oh, goodness. Can you you come on your computer, right? You don't come on the
Got the
Claris.
I got that there.
You do have a Claris. You know, you can take it with you.
Okay.
It'll still work because it works off cell service.
Okay.
But if anything, if you're busy during class time, you can rewatch it on the YouTube. But just let me know if you have any questions, and also if you want me to give you credit for watching those videos, even though you're not in class. Let me know, because my goal is that everybody earns the t-shirt, the one that Miss Rita is modeling for us today in our beautiful coral color.
Even I watch the class, I still do them. I try to
Yes.
do them anyway.
Yes,
So,
I want everybody to earn a shirt, and you get that for coming 10 of the 16 classes. So that's what
Jennifer, I did watch one, so how do I get credit? Can you see that I watched it?
I can't, but I take your word for it.
Okay.
I take y'all.
I don't know which one it was. It was after the first one that I missed, though.
I got you. I take y'all as truth tellers. I do not
Okay.
take y'all as liars. I'm the one that's a liar because I'm saying right when I'm really moving left. So the only liar around here is me.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I love y'all. Hope y'all have a good week.
You too.
All right. Bye.